Have you ever wanted to ask your favorite reviewer what their #1 pick for a summer fragrance would be? Well, I asked a few of them, and chances are that your favorite fragrance reviewer was asked, and their recommendation is on this list. So what I have here are 8 fragrances that are on the cheaper side that do come as recommendations from fragrance reviewers, followed by 2 honorable mentions that come from me. And on that note, let's get into it. So this list was created so that you could save some time, some energy, and not to go through a bunch of videos, try to find your #1. This is just going to be a list of 8 fragrances that come as their #1 pick, and they are in no particular order. So it's not like it's my favorite fragrance reviewer to my most favorite or anything like that. It's nothing like that. It's just all 8 laid out here. So the first suggestion on this list comes from Mark at Robes08, who is the fragrance guru. If you don't know who he is, you should by now. And Mark's suggestion has top notes of grapefruit and bergamot, heart notes of neroli, petitgrain, and cassis, base notes of patchouli and vanilla. You get Pampelune by Guerlain. Now, I'm not too familiar with this scent, but it's when I bought it, it said that it was for women. This is one, it does smell a bit feminine maybe, but it's definitely more of a unisex scent than anything, I think. I've been using this as like, this is a great, I don't want to say a room spray. It's not necessarily something that I can see myself wearing a lot, but it would be great for like spraying a pillow before you go to sleep, I think. It's a very refreshing, uplifting scent. When I have worn this since I bought it, it doesn't have the best like longevity or projection really. It's not the strongest in that aspect, but the scent is phenomenal. The grapefruit in the opening of this thing is amazing. Very uplifting. Different than say like your Demeter grapefruit or the grapefruit that's in Lacoste Blanc. It's different. It's a bit more rich, I guess. A bit clean too, if that makes sense. But it's definitely high quality. And guys, the bottle is pretty cool here. It's definitely a cool bottle here. It's a solid suggestion in terms of your presentation on this thing. Even the cap kind of sucks, but spray is awesome. Again, guys, this comes from Mark at Robes08. And the next suggestion on this list comes from Justin at JC. His favorite channel has been around for just a little while now. We have a very similar backdrop. Like, he also has a shelf here as well, but it's minus the Christmas lights. And Justin's suggestion comes with notes of bergamot, mandarin, orange blossom, cardamom, geranium, and fake leaf. And you get Sean John 3 AM. This is a cool bottle here, guys. It reminds me a lot of a Dior bottle. This based off the the shape of it, and even down to the atomizer. This atomizer is awesome. Great atomizer in this thing. The scent though is not quite my taste. It's a bit earthy, if that makes sense. It's like a citrus earthiness to it. I need to give it some aware to really figure out what that note is that's in there that makes me steer away from it. But in terms of it being a great summer scent, yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great, easy reach. It's not aquatic. It's not something that has any kind of juicy amount of citrus in it. You really get the fig leaf and the cardamom with some of the orange blossom, really. Not really heavy on the citrus, but it's definitely a fresh, uplifting kind of scent. It's one that's gonna be great for like a hot summer day. But now with this, the performance, when I've worn it on my hands in testing. It doesn't project out the best just based off my hands, but the scent is okay. It's definitely one that if you want to just kind of expand on your summer arsenal in terms of fragrances, this one is cheap and it wouldn't really break the bank to pick it up. Again, guys, that is Sean John 3 AM. And now before I go any further, I do want you to know that the reviewers that are talked about in this video will be listed down in the description below if you want to go check out their channel. And the next recommendation comes from my buddy Josh at Scent Sense. His suggestion has notes of bergamot, leafy greens, mandarin, magnolia, jasmine green tea, fig, cedarwood, musk, and vetiver, and you get Vintage Green by Banana Republic. This comes from the 78 line. I have this and I have their cypress and cedar. This is some phenomenal juice, like very, very high quality for what this cost is. I kind of wish I got a bigger thing of this, but this is okay. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know that I used the cypress and cedar as like almost like a signature scent this past winter, because I would spray all my jackets with that juice even when I was wearing a fragrance. This is a bit more of a wearable scent than that is. I feel like that was like a great like car spray. This is going to be what you're going to want to actually wear. It has a bit of a greenness to it. It's not quite what I would say would be solely a summer fragrance, but it is one that is very pleasant and enjoyable probably year round. So this is still a great suggestion for a summer fragrance. Again, guys, Josh chose Vintage Green. And the next cheapie on this list comes as a suggestion from Steve, the fragrance fanatic. With top notes of bergamot, bitter orange, and transparent musk, heart notes of ivy, lichen, base notes of sandalwood and rosewood, you get chrome. This is the original, guys. This is the OG. So I just unboxed this just the other day, and so far since then I've worn it to the gym and I've really enjoyed it. This is like the perfect out of the shower kind of scent. It's not too strong off my skin outside of it, the first like 15 minutes of it. After that, it really settles down some, but it's just so clean, This is such a post-shower scent. This is nothing more than that. This isn't something that you want to wear when you're dressed up. This is going to be great for like a summer day off. If you're going by a pool, if you're going to the beach. It's not really vacation-y. It's just super easy to wear. And chances are most of you guys own this and have worn it quite a bit, seeing as it released in like 96. Again, guys, that comes from Steve at the Fragrance Fanatic. That is Chrome. And the next fragrance on this list comes from Cam at Carolina Fragrance Reviews. Now, this fragrance is one that at first spray I was in love with it. It's fantastic. With top notes of neroli and grapefruit, heart notes of sap, base notes of white cedarwood, you get Bulgari Aqua Marine. Guys, like I said, this is some of the just best. It's so good. This is gonna be like the best, like at the beach kind of scent, I think, or even to the gym, because it has that like it's a marine fragrance. It's very pleasant. It doesn't perform the best, but I'm okay with putting this in my pocket and rolling out with it. It's probably one of, if not my favorite on the list, honestly. So Cam, shout out, thank you. Stuff's awesome. Again, that's from Cameron at Carolina Fragrance Reviews. And next, I reached out to Timmy at Imagine Scent for this one. He chose a fragrance that I had in the past that I really wanted to rebuy and kind of forgot about, to be honest with you guys. But I'm so glad to have it back in my collection. The top notes of neroli, bitter orange leaves, and bergamot. Heart notes of geranium, clary sage, and cedarwood. Base notes of oud, mineral amber, musk, and tonka. You get Versace Porom. There's no way that there's oud in this thing, guys. This is one of the best, even better than the Chrome, in my opinion. Like out of the shower kind of scents. This is one that, not only that, this is a great signature scent. This is a great for the office. It just smells very clean. A little soapy in the dry down on my skin, but the opening is very crisp, very clean. Out of this entire list, this is probably, in my opinion, the best summer scent. This is the best cheaper summer scent on this list. Now, I do prefer the scent of the Marine, but in terms of performance and projection, this beats the Marine. Again, guys, that is Versace Porom. And this comes from Timmy at Imagine Scent. And the next summer cheapie on this list comes from George, the Fragrance Apprentice, who is currently on a hiatus from making videos. I figured I'd throw this in there in case somebody that's watching this video is a Fragrance Apprentice fan. Here is his #1 suggestion for a cheap, affordable summer fragrance. Which also happens to have the most amount of notes of any fragrances on this list, so thanks for that, George. With top notes of Italian bergamot, lime zest, mandarin, ruby orange, nutmeg, red cinnamon, clove bud. Heart notes of parsley, coriander seeds, and lavender. Base notes of sandalwood, red cedarwood, vetiver root, Indonesian patchouli, oak moss, and clean musk. You get Perielis 360 red. Now guys, this is a clone of Aqua de Jo, but it's a bit spicier. Like, I mean, guys, you can't go wrong with Aqua de Jo for summer, and you can't really go wrong with this either for it being an affordable fragrance. Now, there are quite a few more, affordable style fragrances that are like this, but this is George's. This is George's #1 pick. Like I said, this is not a 10 down to 1 kind of thing. This is a simple list. But like I said, on my skin, this is basically a spicier version of Aqua de Jo. Very easy to wear, very enjoyable. This is cheap, so you can spray this one pretty heavily. Again, guys, that is Perielis 360 Red from George's Fragrance Apprentice. And lastly, but not least on this list, comes from Aston at Gent Scents. This fragrance isn't really one that I would really ever cross my mind as, a summer fragrance, but I guess it is. This list just goes to show you the taste of these, individual reviewers and what they like. And before I go any further, I do want to say thank you, reviewer, for not picking out some Clive Christian pick for me, because wouldn't want to go out and buy that. So thank you for not picking that, Ashton, or anybody. And Ashton's pick has top notes of grapefruit, bergamot, and nutmeg. Heart notes of cypress and lavender. Base notes of bourbon vetiver, Haitian vetiver, cashmere wood, and musk. And you get Ancre Noir Sport. Now, this is also a suggestion a bit ago from Mark at Robes of Weight. So you take Mark at Robes of Weight and you take Gent Scents, and they both recommended this. So that might be a little telling to you guys. This is a great fragrance. It's heavy on the vetiver. It's not, to me, it's not like an uplifting, rejuvenating kind of scent that comes to my mind when I think of summer. But it does perform well. It does last. It lasts a long time. And the scent, it grows on me. Initially, when I first smelled it, I thought it smelled like cheap. I think it's the vetiver that I just kind of associated that note with cheaper fragrances. But in the dry down, this really starts to shine, starts to develop into more of a complex kind of fragrance. And it really started to develop into that higher, more complex kind of fragrance in the higher heat. And which is why I respect Ashton for putting this on as his #1. He could have went with, Aqua de Jo or something, like that, but that's not cheap, but this is. And now next, I'm gonna give you guys my 2 recommendations for a cheaper or more affordable summer fragrance. Now, I'm not gonna go through the notes in these, I'm just gonna give you guys a brief little description of these fragrances. First is gonna be Salvatore Ferragamo Aqua E and Chrome Pure by Zara. Now, Chrome Pure is not a lot like Chrome. It's a bit more oomph to it. It lasts a bit longer off my skin. It projects better. I really thought that it would be a bit cloying during the summer when I've worn it. No, it's not. It's very pleasant. And my next pick was Aqua E by Salvatore Ferragamo. It has the similarities to Bleu de Chanel. It's very pleasant. It's one of my only rack store pickups that had really impressed me in the opening. Like I've talked about on my channel, I walked out of the store and sprayed it in the air and was wowed immediately by it. Like I said, Aqua E, great pick, very affordable. I think you can find this at rack stores for like 20 bucks. Guys, that was a fun list. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you found it somewhat informative. Thank you to all you fellow reviewers for responding to my message and being cool with me making this video. I appreciate that a lot. But guys, I hope this list will have you smelling good this summer. And guys, like I always say, keep it gent and love your scent, and I'll see you all next time.